This video is going to talk about 4 different types of transformations that you can make with different shapes. The first type of transformation is called a rotation, which is turning something around a point. We also have reflections, which is like looking in a mirror. We also have translations, which is moving something around. And then the last one we're going to talk about is a dilation, which is changing the size of something. The first thing we're going to talk about is rotation. Like if you stand up right now and you rotate around, you'll basically spin around in a circle. We're going to use the letter R because it's very easy to see what's going on with that letter. A rotation is moving something around a point. You'll notice that's not an exact copy, but because we're not using graph paper and it's a very rough thing, it's close enough for this situation. So we're going to rotate the letter R. You can rotate it any direction and as far as you'd like, but the shape doesn't change. If you were to move this around, you'd see it's still the letter R, even though it looks a little bit weirder. That probably shouldn't happen, but we're not using graph paper, we're using a whiteboard, and a letter R right there. It's been rotated. Then you have a reflection. A reflection is like looking in a mirror. So if we have the letter R here, looking in a mirror, it would look like that. Well, this one's probably a little bit sloppy. Or you could have mirrors coming from different angles. That also works. But it's a mirror image, which means it's going to be backwards in some way, shape, or form. A translation is moving a shape somewhere else. Nothing changes about that except for its location. Just like when you translate something, it's the same thing, it just looks different. This is the same thing, it just looks different because it has a new scenery around it. Might be a way to think about that. And then dilation is when you change the size of something. It's still the same proportionally, which means that we're not going to do something like that because it's too small up top and way too big down at the bottom. But it's changing the size without changing the proportions.